How's it going, guys? So it's been a while since I've done an update on the wagon. I've mostly just been collecting parts to do my head swap. So these are the 25D 98 Legacy GT heads that I just got back from the machine shop. I got all this stuff ready to be bolted onto a turbo car. So I got the oil drain and coolant feed added in right here. And so these should all be ready to go, but this is all going to be for a different video. Today we're going to be installing a Walbro 255 fuel pump because I hooked up the wideband in my car after I put the exhaust on, and it was running super lean, especially while in boost. So I had my suspicions that the fuel pump's just going out. So we're going to put this thing in, and hopefully it fixes my lean problem. So as most of you probably don't know, Forrest's car blew a head gasket. It's a very small leak into the combustion chamber, but it was kind of our fault for damaging the head gasket slightly before we put it in. So he is going to be doing the head swap as well. And just last night, Rachel's 93 wagon popped its radiator, so we're worried that one might have a bad head gasket as well. And my mom's wagon, which you guys have seen before, also needs head gaskets. So Megan's car is currently the only working Legacy we have right now. So first things first is we need to pull up the carpet in the back of here, because right about here there's a little trap door that we can get access to the fuel pump. Alright, so we're just going to take the fuel pump basket out of here. We just got to take all these 8mm bolts out. We just already disconnected the little connector right there, and then take the 3 fuel lines off. We already kind of blew it out to make sure there's no loose dirt and crap in there, because you don't want that to get in your fuel tank and contaminate everything. So just try to keep everything as clean as possible. Oh, get in there. This thing's a tight fit. Holy crap. Trying to let the fuel drain out of it before I take it all the way out. So if you've never done a fuel pump before, this is what is considered the basket. Normally there's an actual basket right here that'll fill up with fuel, but this car doesn't have one, I guess. I don't know, this is the first time I've done one of these. So all we gotta do to install this fuel pump is there's these 2 wires here, the red one's for positive and the black one for negative, and they're actually screwed onto this pump. But on the new Walbro, it came with this little connector here that plugs in at the top. So I'm going to crimp those onto these right here, and probably shrink wrap them if I can, because it's obviously soaking in fuel, so you don't want to just have it loose. This right here is the actual sending unit that shows you your gauge. It says it's on the float. You can see that right there. That's how that works. It basically just floats in the gas and shows you how much is left. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these zip ties, and it should just pop out of here and take off this hose to the main feed and take off those wires, and then we can install the new one. Oh, I dropped that. There we go. It's the old one. Okay, so I got most of it pretty much installed. I had to cut this hose down quite a bit and get that on there. This is the connector it came with. I'm just going to use some barrel connectors. I know you're probably not supposed to, but whatever. I got some heat shrink on here, so I can crimp those. I'm going to cut these shorter and then crimp them in there, and then I can use a heat gun to put those on, but essentially it came with this rubber grommet here at the bottom, and that just kind of popped it into the actual pump here. I'm going to use some zip ties to hold it against here because that's how the old one was. So this is my fancy wiring job I did right here. This should be fine. This heat shrink should keep everything separate and protect everything. I'm not sure if it's rated for gasoline, but we soaked some in gasoline and it doesn't seem to affect it, so I'm sure it'll be fine. That's basically it. So we're just going to pop this thing back in the tank and try to make sure this this little filter thing doesn't fall off, because it can happen a lot. And hopefully this fixes my problem. Okay, we pretty much got everything hooked up. I'm just putting the bolts back in. Plug in the connector and see if it starts. So it started right up. Still running really rich, but I mean the car is super cold, so it's trying to warm itself up right now. It's super loud because I changed my exhaust up. I got a new downpipe, and it's basically just a hollow cat in the mid pipe with a 3-inch bell mouth downpipe, and I don't have a muffler on it right now. Definitely seems like it's running a bit better. I'm gonna have to let it warm up and maybe take it for a drive and see how it's doing. Acting weird, like when we stab the throttle, it goes almost full lean right away as it comes down back to normal. You stab it, it like pings lean right away. It's a little bit richer than it was before, but it's still doing that. So I'm kind of thinking it might be the fuel pressure regulator. We're gonna drive it around a little bit and see if it's any better. Alright, so as you guys saw, the issue is still not fixed. It's still running super fucking lean, and it's super dangerous. I don't know why it's doing that. The only thing I can think of at this point is it's a fuel pressure regulator. So I have another EJ22T fuel pressure regulator from one of our other builds. So I'm gonna hopefully not have to pull the turbo off to do it, but I'm gonna try to replace that fuel pressure regulator and see if that fixes it. Kind of sucks that I just wasted $100 on a fuel pump that didn't actually fix the issue, but now I have a 255 fuel pump installed, so that's going to help me later down the line with my head swap and everything. But that's basically how to change your fuel pump on one of these. It's pretty easy. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments, and thanks for watching.